Hello, Capricorn. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. All right, let's... Okay. 1, 2... All right, so this is going to be a little bit interesting is what I'm getting. There's something complicated in the environment. I'm already getting that. Okay. There's something complicated in the environment. Like, this is going to be one of those readings where I feel like it's going to be you, the person you're dealing with, and then there's something outside of that. Something outside of them that you're not going to directly see that's very much affecting what you have to deal with this person. Okay, so starting off that way, coming into a situation, it's like... What are you dealing with here? Because I'm getting this, like... I feel you're literally choosing something you have to deal with. Whether it's work or family or friends, you're seeing like this opportunity where something needs to improve. And it feels kind of like, it's kind of nagging at you is my first thought. Because when I'm getting the assessing here, assessing with the world and then the Fool card, all three of these are coming in at once. It's one of those things where I really feel you're being pulled towards something. It's kind of like you really feel like you need to be a part of a situation. Like, on paper, you don't have to be a part of it, is what I'm getting. The reason you're going to be a part of it, or the reason you became a part of it, is because literally you went towards it. You saw it, you felt it, you had something pulled you towards it. Like, you had some type of inkling, you saw what was going on, something, and you just went towards it. You felt like it was the best thing to do. You felt like it was correct. I'm getting like this pull, like you felt like you needed to be. The assessing with these two cards, the World and the Fool, is kind of like you felt like you needed to be a part of it. That's how it starts. And I'm getting a very emotional pull. Like you just felt like this is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be a part of. One way or another, you were pulled towards it. I'm getting like a pull. Like I've had jobs like that before in the past, where it's just constantly the information keeps coming to me until I'm like, well, I guess I'll try an interview, and like you get the job in 2 seconds. Like, well, okay, apparently I was supposed to get that. Pulled towards something like that. Now, when you're getting involved with this situation, because you're going right towards it, you've got the Knight of Cups. You're welcomed very easily, and you want to be a part of it. The Knight of Cups, I'm feeling for this part, for this reading, and I'm the one, I just go with the energy coming off a card. I just don't do stereotypical meanings usually. It's like you're very well, you're like, yes, we want you. Yes, come on in. Come right on in. And you're like, yes, I want to be there. You feel like you need to be there. You're being very graciously welcomed in. Like the King of Wands is kind of like someone saying, yeah, oh yeah, come right on in. We have a spot for you. We would love to have you. We were glad you're here. We're glad you want to be a part of it. Come right on in. Make yourself at home. Whatever you need to do. Sooner we get you up and running, the happier all of us will be. Now, this is a very curious, very, very curious moment because you're welcomed in very easily, very enthusiastically, I also want to say. It feels like these two cards together, you think, okay, this is a slam dunk. This is great. No worries, no problems. But outside of this welcoming energy, and this is like that third layer I was talking about in the beginning, like there's the situation, and there's something outside of it. Like something outside of your reach. That energy, like that third party energy, like the one you're coming directly in contact with, very welcoming. Very, yeah, let's do it. I'm very happy, let's go, all right. outside of that energy, influencing that energy, you got this, which is the Two of Swords and the Hermit. It's a lack of action, a lack of agreeance is what I'm getting. A lack of agreeance. So in other words, somebody's welcoming you in very like enthusiastically. The energy behind them, though, the supportive energy behind them is kind of like, I don't know. I need to think about it. Maybe soon. Not today. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. The energy is very peculiar to me. It feels like a power play. It's kind of like this one person's like, yeah, let's do it, let's do it. No, I got this person here, I got this Capricorn here. They want to do this. It's going to be great. We need this. This will help the situation. This would be a wonderful thing. I'll think about it. Give me some time to review it. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you email me the information. Leave it over there. I'll look at it when I have a minute. It feels like a power play, and I feel like that's what it is. And there's stagnation here from it. The Two of Swords with the Hermit, this together is telling me things aren't moving forward, but I just feel like I feel like it's a power play. I really, really do. Now, this is also a power play where this person's trying to keep control of this whole situation. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind through this whole thing. Because this person wants control, plans to keep control, believes they have control. It's subjective if they really do. They believe they do, and they're looking to keep it. So that's kind of the attitude you got going on outside of this. All right, so the truth is you are needed here. You are. This is where you should be. And it's not that this energy, the third party energy, it's not like that energy disagrees. They're doing this power play thing. They're doing this power play thing. So what comes in next in the environment is discernment, beauty, and realization. Realizing that you need to be a part of this. Realizing that dragging their feet is not a good idea. Discernment, like, all right, listen, I think, like, it's like this third party person, the balance is coming in, like, they're playing their little game, their little power game. Meanwhile, they're starting to catch on, while I don't make a decision, that's falling through the cracks, that's falling through the cracks, oh, look, that's falling through the cracks. If I give the okay to the Capricorn, if I tell this person, yes, bring the Capricorn in, say yes to the Capricorn. If I say that, that's the balance. Like, things will stop falling through the cracks. That's the discernment. Like, if they get off their butt and they stop playing their little games, things will start getting better. Which is why the next part is coming in, it's moving into this beauty. Like, they're like, okay, yeah, we need to do this. Yep, I reviewed it. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And they might have their little, like, quirky things they want to say about it. I don't know if they're even going to know about that, but, they got to keep control. It's like, it's a control. It's a power play. I really do feel like it's a power play. It's coming through strongly. All right. So when this happens, you got a bunch of positive cards coming in. But I feel like you've been amping up. Like, you've been amping up with this situation. You've been kind of, like, ready to go for a while. You've been ready to go for a while. Like, you're ready to get into it. You're in the motion of it. Like, your brain is ready to go. You may not have actually physically started yet, whatever this is, but your brain is like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get my hands dirty. We need to get this going. Like, we're wasting time. Things are falling through the cracks. Gotta go. You're feeling that emotional pull again, like from before. Like, we need to do this. So we got, these two come in first. Judgment in your favor. The Death card in this situation is saying, like, the waiting is over. The death of the waiting. You're getting right into it. It's like full speed ahead. It literally feels like full speed ahead, but you got extremes here, kind of like you're ready to jump in, but at the same time, it's a little bit unbalanced because even though you're like ready to go, your mind is ready, like, yeah, I gotta get my hands in there, I gotta get my hands dirty, we gotta get going, we gotta get this going, we gotta get things going so we can, like, stop things from falling through the cracks. Don't forget, you get that King of Wands energy here. That's a hit the beach running attitude. Hit the beach running. That's that type of attitude. So you're all going to go to do it, but when it happens, that moment where it happens, it's literally like starting off at a run, and you're like, whoa. Like, but at the same time, you're like, yeah, we need to do this. So it's a little bit stressful. but it's kind of like, well, I'm going to do it. It's one of those moments where it's stressful. It's literally stressful, but you're like, no, I got to do this. This needs to fly right. I need to do this. I need to do this. So I'm going to do it. Extremes is telling me it's like, it's hitting the beach running. It feels hitting the beach running, but feeling like it has to be done this way and not backing off. Like, well, I'll do it then. If that's what has to happen, then I'll do it. It feels like, to you, it feels like, no, this is how this needs to happen. And your commitment to this is really intensifying, is what I'm getting. You jump right in. You do what you got to do. This card comes in next. When it's not created to a romantic situation, it's like passing the test. It's making that goal, achieving the success. But it's kind of like, it's not just success. It's like things going on plan. It's not like success, like goal attained, done. Not like that. It's kind of like things are on board, things are on point, things are flying right, and now we're maintaining it, and we're feeling like we can maintain it quite easily. Usually, it's a very positive. Things are the way where they should be, and I'm very happy and thankful for it. That's where things go next. And what I'm getting is like there's this weird energy that happens. It's like it hits this really good point, but then you switch over to the Four of Cups because it's like you get everything on point that was supposed to be on point, right? But then it's like all these things that have been neglected. Like, how do I put this? You get everything on point that you need to do, everything that's currently in motion. Cool, got that on point, all right? That's the Lover's card. Everything that can be done at this point is done and is at the best level it can be at. And then it's like the Four of Cups, I feel like, is the assessing afterwards. As you're keeping it up to date and keeping it going, you're looking at things that fell through the cracks. And you're seeing things that like got damaged that, how do I put this? It's kind of like a crack in the wall. And it's realizing that, you know, it didn't get fixed correctly. And now you're like, all right, how are we supposed to fix that? And then realizing, well, maybe this hasn't completely settled. Maybe there's a crack in the wall because the foundation wasn't laid correctly. And now it's kind of like the Four of Cups, like, we're doing good now, and everything in front of us, we're doing very good now, but what other hidden problems are here due to this faulty start? And I feel like that's your Four of Cups, kind of like, all right, got the house under control. Everything's cleaned up, everything's painted, everything's, you know, out, unpacked, everything's where it should be, windows are done, whole 9 yards. But then it's like the crack in the wall. And you're like, wait a minute, what's that? And realizing the foundation wasn't done correctly. And you're like, how many other problems are we going to have due to the way this house was set on its foundation? That's your Four of Cups. It's not a total loss, but it's kind of like, we need to find out what the deal is. We need to see if there's a way we can find out or plan ahead to see what other problems we could be in for. The Four of Cups is like, it's not all that bad, but it's kind of like it was so good, and then like seeing that, and you're just like, it's just kind of like, it's one of those things where you're like, that's not okay. Now, I feel like you're probably pointing out, like, all right, we got this crack in the wall, you got to assess, you got to have the foundation assessed, or whatever you need to do to find out, like, what other potential problems could be coming up against. In the environment, you got the focus, like, I feel like you're waking people up, like, listen. Everything's good right now, you know, the Lover's card, yay, we're good, passing the test, we got everything up to level where it can be for the best point for right now. But this Four of Cups, you're like, hey, listen, see this crack in this wall? This isn't okay. And I know right now we're working with that crack, but you need to find out if there's going to be other problems coming forward, because even though we have this under control, if the foundation has other problems, there could be different places, other things we're not seeing that could cause a problem later. You need to get on it. You need to find out. You need to hire certain people, have this done to find out, or have this reinforced, or whatever needs to be done, so we don't have other pop-up problems like this that could cause really, really devastating problems. So you're pushing that off onto the environment, like you need to figure this out. The focus is handed over to that whoever that is, and they're taking you seriously. They know you're correct. They know what you're saying. They know what you mean. So they're absorbing this energy. They're absorbing the information. Okay. we're just going to keep going and see what you think about it when we get there. If you could read that first card, the first one coming in is resistance, the second one is faith. And I feel like for those of you, I feel like a lot of you are going to immediately get what this means. You've been listened to, you've been heard, but what's really being done about this? It's kind of like you made your point, you said what needs to be done, you've pointed things out, you're like, this has to be taken care of before we have bigger problems, but you've also, it's potential problems. But in your mind, and I feel like this is a sane way of looking at things, why wait for problems to happen? Let's be proactive. Let's not have problems. Let's have things taken care of so we don't have to worry about that or possibly have problems. Let's kind of eliminate the possibility of problems. But there's this energy that you're dealing with kind of like, yeah, but it's just a possibility and we could use our resources in a different way and just kind of like, let's just wait and see if it really becomes anything worse. Let's not worry about it too much. And I don't think you like that. I don't feel your energy really liking that. You got the 8 of Swords with the 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Coins, 5 of Pentacles, same difference. And you're like, I don't like this. I don't like that. I think we should handle it. I don't think we should just wish and hope and pray. We should really find out what we're dealing with. That way, we don't have to worry about it. You know what I mean? And that way, if there is a potential big problem, we could cut it off at the quick. So it's not a major problem later. The 8 of Swords is telling me it's just kind of like you said your 2 cents. You've done what you could to impress upon these people about what needs to be done and how it should be handled. The 5 of Coins afterwards is telling me it's like you feel like after you've said your piece and you see the outcome from that, anything beyond that you keep trying to reiterate, it just seems like it's falling on deaf ears. The environment, I'm noticing the 9 of Cups. Like, they're very happy, and they're feeling like everything is on point. Everything's where it should be now. Everything is good. At the same time, you're like, yeah, it's good now, but we should take proactive steps to make sure it stays that way, and we don't have unseen problems popping up out of nowhere. I know this is a general reading, but I feel like things for the time being are okay. I feel like one of 2 things are really going to happen. And there's no real cards. It's kind of like the faith card popping out at the end. One of 2 things. It's either going to be fine, which, how comfortable can you really be with that? Because you'd like the assurance. You know what I mean? You would. And that's a sane way to look at it. It's either going to be fine or there's going to be another mishap. Like there's going to be a new crack in the wall. Or there's going to be some other problem due to the foundation. It's going to be a little worse than what you've already dealt with, but it's still going to be fixable. And then you're going to really get people's attention and you're going to be like, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was saying. And when it comes around again, they'll be more apt to listen to you. There's no guarantee with that, free will and all that good stuff. But the faith is saying, don't worry, things are going to be fine. You've done the best you can. You've been honest and put forth what you know. You just kind of have to roll with it at this point. The fact that you're telling people, I feel like you're showing your value. You're doing your best with it, and they're trying. I feel like that's the point of this reading, like just accepting that you're doing the best you can with this. If the other people don't believe in you, it's not even that. It's not even that. If they don't act on the information you're giving them, because they think they can skirt around it, because they feel like that's the thing. They're like, oh, maybe I could skirt around it. It's not on you. Some of them will get away with it. Others of them, there'll be another mishap, and then they'll listen. Because you're going to be like, listen, I told you these things were going to happen, and now there's the second one. You're going to wait for the next one? The next one can be even worse. Let's get it fixed. Let's get it taken care of. So, I feel like what they're saying is just give your piece, give your 2 cents, and then just kind of relinquish it. Like, it's on the people you gave it to. If they don't want to listen, it's on them. It's their problem. That's how it's going to have to be. All right, I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.